Good afternoon. My name is Kaylin Lopes. Here's what's making news now. Patrick Brown dropped out of the Ontario Progressive Conservative leadership race last night. Brown posted on his Twitter account that the campaign is a distraction and is taking away time to spend with his family. A source in his campaign says that his family and him have faced death threats and other harassments. Brown is faced with accusations of sexual misconduct by 2 women. He says he will continue to fight these allegations against him. Ontario's Health Minister Eric Hoskins announced yesterday he will be resigning. Hoskins has been a member of provincial parliament for 8 years. Insiders expect Hoskins to be working on setting up a national pharmacare plan. Ontario Premier Kathleen Wynne announced that Helena Jacyk will be taking over Hoskins' role. Finance Minister Bill Marneau will be announcing the 2018 federal budget today. The budget is expected to focus on gender equality and national pharmacare plan. Marneau plans to bring more women into the workforce. He posted on Twitter that he plans to transform the economy so that it works for the middle class by ensuring everyone has the opportunity to succeed. Dylan Millard and Mark Smith will be facing 2 consecutive life sentences for 50 years to be eligible for parole. They have been found guilty for first-degree murder in the July 2012 death of Laura Babcock. They were previously convicted in the murder of Tim Bosma, a father who went missing in May 2013, after going on a test drive with Millard and Smith, who were interested in buying his pickup truck. Babcock's father says they have no sympathy of the 2 men who killed his daughter. Now for this week's weather forecast.
Ryan Seacrest's personal stylist, who first accused Seacrest of sexual misconduct in November, has revealed her identity. Susie Hardy worked for Seacrest for 11 years and said she endured unwanted sexual aggression throughout this time out of fear for not being able to provide for her daughter as a single mother. Variety released new details of the allegations, such as the official letter from her and Seacrest's lawyers. A letter from Hardy's attorney on November 10th asked for Seacrest and E! to come up with a plan to address the treatment of all women at the networks and to take responsibility for the wrongful treatment. Seacrest released a public statement on November 17th calling the allegations reckless. On January 1st, third-party investigators hired by E! Network said that, quote, the investigation had concluded that there were insufficient evidence to support her claims, unquote. Hardy still stands by her claims against Seacrest. Ryan Seacrest has not yet commented on the new details of the accusation. A 21-year-old Manitoba woman has revealed her identity after creating a Twitter hashtag that received 50 to 60 stories from different women who are alleging the lead singer and band members of the band Hedley of sexual misconduct. Taylor Bowman started the hashtag OutHedley2K18 that has generated over 600 tweets since she first used it on February 12th, when she tweeted to the band herself asking them to stop their behavior. On February 17th, Bowman tweeted anonymously at the time, the Hedley fan base is a large community of many young people, and I feel that it is important to protect them. If any media would like to chat regarding my intentions, feel free to send me a message. Bowman told CBC that by coming forward and putting a face to the account, maybe people will believe. A spokesperson for Hedley denies the allegations and says that the anonymous social media accounts that are alleging band members of sexual misconduct are completely and totally false. Bill Cosby's daughter, Enza Cosby, died from renal disease. She was 44 years old. Renal disease depletes kidney function. Although Enza shied from the spotlight for most of her life, she was in strong support against allegations made by several women who accused her father of sexual assault. Melrose Place actress Heather Locklear was arrested Sunday on a domestic battery charge and 3 counts of batteries for allegedly attacking 3 first responding Ventura County Sheriff deputies. Locklear has been released on $20,000 bail. She is expected to appear in court on March 13th. Locklear has not yet provided any comments. The 90th annual Oscars second round of presenters have been announced. Some of the presenters will include Lin-Manuel Miranda, Gal Gadot, Armie Hammer, and Zendaya. The 90th annual Oscars will be hosted by Jimmy Kimmel and will air live Sunday, March 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CTV. Legendary hard rock band Metallica announced 2 North American dates for their worldwide tour on Monday. Metallica will be in Winnipeg, Manitoba on September 13th at the Bell MTS Place and at Sasktel Centre in Saskatchewan, Ontario on September 15th. The Walt Disney Company is donating $1 million to 12 Boys and Girls Clubs of America across the country with the record-breaking success of Black Panther. The donation is to help expand the Boys and Girls Club STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math program. This program allows teen boys and girls to conduct science experiments and take part in fun field trips to learn more about the STEM and real-life scenarios. Black Panther has grossed over $700 million globally after its release on February 16th. Now to Rob for sports.
Thanks, Jennifer. 3 pairs from the Humber Hawks badminton team are set to travel to Concordia University in Edmonton today to compete for the CCAA National Gold. Women's double Chloe Rowe and Liz Duong, men's double Cameron Lay and Darcy Schmidt, as well as mixed double Crystal Koo and Arpit Taneja are representing the Hawks. The teams are seeking to repeat last year's success. The Hawks took home gold in men's and women's doubles, as well as women's singles. That was good for an Ontario record. Chloe Rowe is expected to receive an All-Canadian award at the banquet, having been given the OCAA Player of the Year. The first round begins on March the 1st, 10 a.m. Mountain Time. Oh, the shootout. What a way to win or lose. Should we tell soccer fans that? Okay, wait, not right now. But last night, the Toronto Maple Leafs lost in a shootout against the Atlantic leaders Tampa Bay Lightning 4-3. James Van Riemsdyk tallied his 26th goal this year, along with Mitch Marner's 17th, to give the Leafs the lead after the first. In the second, Tyler Johnson nodded home his 18th of the year to tie it up, and rookie Adam Murren scored his second ever NHL goal to put the Bolts ahead. In the third, Tyler Bozak evened things out on the power play. Lightning center Braden Point was the only player to score in the shootout. Newcomer Thomas Buchanan was a -1 last night with 4 penalty minutes and 11:38 on the ice for the Buds. Leafs play again tonight against the Florida Panthers. Curtis McElhinney is expected to be in goal. Puck drop is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The high-flying Toronto Raptors took care of the Detroit Pistons last night by a score of 123-94. DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry split 20 points each, and Serge Ibaka contributed 19 of his own in the win. They weren't the only ones that took flight last night. Jakob Poeltl had no problems charging through and posterizing Pistons 6'11" center Andre Drummond. Drummond put a double-double with 18 points and 18 rebounds. Ish Smith contributed 16 points, and power forward Blake Griffin with 12. The Raptors improved their home record to 25-5. They head out to Orlando to face the Magic tomorrow night. The Toronto Blue Jays lose their 3rd spring training game in a row, 7-4 against the Tampa Bay Rays. Andrew Kittredge got the win for the Rays, and 27-year-old Matt Dermody with the loss for the Blue Jays. Dalton Pompey, Alex Alford, Dwight Smith Jr., and Timmy Lopez all brought in runs for the Bluebirds. Jason Coates, Willie Adames, and Joe McCarthy all hit home runs for Tampa. The Blue Jays are in the middle of their game with the Yankees. Toronto FC hosts the Colorado Rapids in the second leg of the CONCACAF Champions League at BMO Field tonight with a 2-0 aggregate lead. Goals from Jonathan Osorio and Sebastian Jovinko in the first leg gave TFC the advantage. The predicted lineup on Waking the Reds website says that new Dutch fullback Gregory Vanderveel is expected to make his debut tonight. The former Netherlands international missed the last match due to his girlfriend's pregnancy. On his Instagram, he announced the birth of their first child, Nalia Rose. Toronto FC looked to become the 3rd MLS team to win the competition since DC United in 1998 and LA Galaxy in 2000. Kickoff is at 8 p.m. The Cosmos Investor Group have agreed on a deal with the International Tennis Federation to transform the Davis Cup into a tennis World Cup. 2.4 billion euros is set to be invested into this idea from the KIG over a 25-year span. Cosmos is supported financially by the president and CEO of Rakuten, Hiroshi Mikitani. Rakuten signed a sponsorship deal with Barcelona for this season. ITF hired Barcelona center-back Gerard Piqué to oversee the event. Piqué says, "Together we can improve the Davis Cup to new levels by creating a high-profile tournament." The Tennis World Cup will host 18 teams. Each team will have to qualify for the competition, following up with a group stage and a knockout stage all the way to the finals. It is set to take place in November 2019. Now, back to Kaylin for more on today's news.
Thanks, Rob. The Ontario Provincial Police have identified the people involved in a triple murder-suicide that happened in Ryerson Township on Friday night. Police say Mark Jones murdered a mother, brother, and grandmother. The deceased have been identified as Ula Theoret, the mother, Paul Theoret, the brother, and Raja Turan, the grandmother. Jones was found dead at the home, taking his own life. The Ontario Provincial Police are hoping to speak with anyone that was in the area at the time. Toronto Police confirmed one man dead following a fatal assault at Bathurst and Nina Street last night. Toronto Police tweeted that they are looking for a suspect as a male with a goatee wearing a black jacket and blue hooded sweatshirt. The identity of the victim is still unknown. A fire occurred in Church and Wellesley neighborhood overnight. Fire Chief Jim Jessup explains what happened at the scene.
At the height of the fire, throughout the early hours this morning, it reached the third alarm. The firefighters did an absolutely outstanding job. You can see how close the rest of the buildings are. So we stopped the fire from spreading both north and south of the building of origin. And again, couldn't be prouder of the women and men of Toronto Fire for another outstanding job through a really tough night. The Toronto Fire Investigations Division is on scene now, commencing the investigation into the origin, cause, and circumstances of this fire.
No injuries have been reported, and investigations are still ongoing. Loblaws will be giving the option for commuters to shop for their groceries online and pick them up at a GO Transit station. 5 GO stations will be offering this option, such as Bronte, Oakville, Clarkson, Rouge Hill, and Whitby. Metrolinx president and CEO Phil Vester says this will make their trips home that much quicker. They will be launching within the next month. Now back to Rob for this year's NHL trade.
Thanks, Kaylin. Here are the last significant deals that happened at the trade deadline yesterday. Thomas Vanek is on the move yet again on a trade deadline day. The 34-year-old Austrian forward is off to the Columbus Blue Jackets in exchange for forwards Tyler Mott and Jussi Jokinen. The last time he was traded on the deadline day was from the New York Islanders to the Montreal Canadiens in 2013-2014 season. In his 16-year career, this is Vanek's 7th team. The Detroit Red Wings send over forward Thomas Tatar to the Las Vegas Golden Knights for a first, second, and third round picks in a 3-year span. Tatar was drafted in the 2nd round by Detroit in 2009. He has 16 goals and 12 assists this year. The winner of the day has to be the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Bolts acquired star defenseman Ryan McDonough and center JT Miller from the New York Rangers for a first-round pick, a conditional first-round pick, forwards Vladislav Nemestikov, Brett Hoden, and defenseman Libor Hacek. McDonough was drafted by Montreal in 2007, 12th overall. He was traded over to New York and has been playing there since 2010. Other notable moves was the Edmonton Oilers moving Patrick Maroon over to the New Jersey Devils. Maroon thanked the Oilers organization on Twitter. The Boston Bruins acquired Tommy Wingels from the Chicago Blackhawks. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it is safe to say Tampa Bay is the winner. Tampa Bay added a marquee defenseman, bolstering a back line that already contains Mikhail Sergachev and Victor Hedman. McDonough joins former Rangers Dan Girardi, Anton Strawman, and Ryan Callahan. The move ultimately makes sense for McDonough and Steve Yzerman. Tampa Bay did not have to give up anyone they did not want to, and it seems in the run for Erik Karlsson, Ottawa's asking price was way too high. The Bolts have increased their chances at winning a Stanley Cup. Nikita Kucherov left the game last night against the Leafs with an upper body injury. There is no further update on his condition, but hopefully he is good to go. Another great win yesterday was the Winnipeg Jets. They acquired Paul Stastny from the St. Louis Blues. Stastny is a top-line center, and he will most likely be on the 2nd or 3rd line. Winnipeg added a complete player. He isn't what he used to be when he was younger. He is at the age of 32. He provides experience, awareness in the offensive zone, and vision for other goal scorers. And on Winnipeg, he has all the goal scorers you could ever dream of. Expect Winnipeg to make a good run into the playoffs. At this present moment, they are the best Canadian team, with a legitimate chance to end the Canadian Stanley Cup drought. Last team to win was the Montreal Canadiens back in 1993. The Ottawa Senators emerged as the losers at this deadline. The team announced yesterday they were not going to trade Erik Karlsson. Although there was much speculation, the roster remains the same. Karlsson and Hoffman will know their fate in the offseason. The deals they made were some prospects and picks, and the acquisition of Ian Cole from the Penguins was short-lived. It will be an interesting offseason for an organization that financially has budget issues. That's all for your deadline day updates. Now back to Kaylin to wrap things up.
This is what's making news now. Check out our website, skedline.com. I'm Kaylin Lopes. Bye for now.